Hey everybody, it's Kylie and welcome back to my channel. So today I have a fun Christmas crochet pattern tutorial for y'all. I'm going to show y'all how to make these cute candy cane border coasters. Are these not cute? They're such a fun and decorative piece to put out on your Christmas table or even on just a side table or a coffee table for decor. They're so cute. I love using red and green for the border here, and the border is not as hard as it looks. It's really a simple and easy border to do. They work up really fast and they're a fairly quick and easy crochet pattern. Each of my coasters came out to be approximately 4 3/4 inches in diameter, so they're the perfect coaster size. But before we get started with this tutorial, if you have not yet subscribed to my channel, be sure to click that subscribe button so you won't miss any other crochet pattern tutorials or stitch tutorials. And we're going to jump right into this. I'm going to show you the supplies you'll need to get started. So for this pattern, you will need a worsted weight 100% cotton yarn. One of my favorite cotton yarns to use is Lion Brand 24/7 cotton. This is a number 4 worsted weight cotton yarn that works up beautifully and holds up well. You'll just need a white, a red, and a green. And the names of these colors were just white, red, and I think the green was called grass, if I do remember correctly. But you'll just need those. Any worsted weighted cotton, 100% cotton yarn will work for this pattern. So even if you have some like scrap cotton yarn, this is a good scrap project because given the fact that the coasters aren't very big, it doesn't take a lot of cotton yarn. So you probably already have some of these colors in your stash that you can use to make this pattern. Along with the cotton yarn, you will also need a H or 5mm crochet hook, and you'll also need a pair of scissors and a yarn needle to weave in your ends. And other than that, that's all you'll need. And we will go ahead, jump in this pattern, and get started. Okay, so to get started with these Christmas crochet coasters, we are going to start by making a magic circle. And if you're wondering here why I have another crochet piece laid on the background, I just laid it in the background since my background's white and the yarn I'm using is white. Y'all may not be able to see it very well, so I had a little crochet pot holder that I've made sitting here by me, so I just grabbed it, put it in the background, so I'm crocheting on top of it so y'all can see my stitches and exactly what I'm doing, because I know white on white is very hard to see. So to get started though, we're going to take our white yarn and we're going to make a magic circle or a magic ring. So to make a magic ring or magic circle, you're simply going to lay your tail of yarn to the left and your working yarn to the right, and then you're going to twist it on here like so and make a loop. Now once you've made your loop, you're going to take your crochet hook, go under the loop, grab that working yarn and pull up the loop, and I like to chain one to secure it, and that is how you make a magic circle. And then you can pull those stitches closed. After we work stitches into this magic circle, you will pull the tail to close them. So to get started with round 1, we're going to work 12 double crochet into this magic ring. So I'm going to just work 12 double crochet stitches in this magic ring. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And if it helps a little bit, if your ring's a little bit too big, you can always pull it a little bit to close it a little bit as you're working into it to make it easier. I think that's 7, 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Okay, after you've made 12 double crochet in that magic ring or circle, you're going to grab the tail of yarn and you're going to pull it and pull it closed like so. And then we're going to finish this round by slip stitching into the first stitch of the round, which is going to be that very first double crochet. And at the end of round 1, you will have 12 stitches. Okay, so going on to round 2, you will chain 2, and I will mention that this chain 2 does not count as a stitch. And we're going to work 2 double crochet in each stitch around. So I'm just going to start in this very first stitch, do 2 double crochet, and then you're going to work that all the way around, just putting 2 double crochet in each stitch around. So after you've placed 2 double crochet in each stitch around, when you reach the beginning, you will then slip stitch into that very first double crochet. And at the end of round 2, you should have 24 stitches. Moving on to round 3, we will chain 2. We will work 2 double crochet in the first stitch, and then work 1 double crochet in the next stitch. And we're going to repeat that around. So we're going to work 2 double crochet in the next stitch, and then 1 double crochet in the next stitch. So 2 double crochet in that next stitch, 1 double crochet in the next, and you'll just keep repeating that all the way around. 2 double crochet in the next stitch, 1 double crochet in the next, and I'm going to repeat that all the way around. Okay, so after you've worked all the way back around and you're back at the beginning, you'll simply slip stitch into that first double crochet to join the round, and at the end of round 3 you should have 36 stitches. And we're going to go ahead and cut our yarn because we're now done with the coaster part, and we're going to work our candy cane border around to finish our coaster. So I'm just going to cut this yarn. You could go ahead and weave the ends in if you want to. I do want to mention that with this magic circle, you want to make sure that you knot this in before you weave it in, because if you do not knot it, it has the potential of that center opening back up and your stitches coming undone. So make sure you knot that before you weave it in. And then I'm going to show y'all, I'm going to grab my red and green yarn and show y'all how to do the border on the candy cane coasters. Okay, so to do the border for these candy cane border for these coasters, you're simply going to grab your red yarn and make a slip knot and place it on your hook. And it doesn't matter where you start, so any stitch around the edge here, you're going to just insert your hook and slip stitch that red yarn to it. And then you're simply going to chain 4 stitches. 3, 4. And then you're going to pull your loop up a little bit, and we're going to remove our hook, and we're going to grab our green yarn and do the same thing that we just done to the stitch to the left of our red yarn. So we joined it here, so the stitch on the left side we're going to attach our green yarn to and chain 4 also. So I've already made a slip knot here. Just going to place it on my hook, and I'm going to slip stitch into that stitch to the left of the red yarn. Slip stitch there, and we're going to chain 4. And we're going to pull up a little bit of a loop. And so this is what it looks like right now. So just trust that you have to trust the process here, because it looks a little wonky, but it'll soon start looking like a candy cane border. So now you're going to put your hook back into the red yarn. There, we're going to close up our loop there. And then we're going to cross over in front of our green into the next stitch, and we're going to single crochet in that next stitch. So we're going to skip where our green yarn is coming out of, skip over here to that next stitch, and single crochet. Okay, after you single crochet, you're going to chain 4, and then you're going to pull that loop up a little bit and take your hook out of it, and then you're going to go back into the green yarn, insert your hook back into that green, and you're going to do the same thing we just done to with the red and in front. We're going to cross over in front of the red in the stitch next to the red. So where we single crochet here, that next stitch that's not been worked into, we're going to come in front of the red and single crochet into that stitch and chain 4. 2, 3, 4. And take our hook out, and that's what it looks like so far. So you can see it's kind of starting to look like the candy cane border. And you're just going to keep alternating this, going back and forth between the red and the green. So now I'm going to go back into the red yarn, tighten that up. We're going to jump over in front of the green, the next stitch that's not been worked into. We're going to go in front of the green. Make sure you push the green to the back. Insert your hook and single crochet and chain 4. 3, 4. Pull your loop up and take your hook out. Switch back over to the green. Push the red to the back. The next stitch that hasn't been worked into, we're going to work a single crochet. We're going to come in front of the red, single crochet, and chain 4. And you're just going to keep alternating that over and over until you get all the way back around. I will keep doing that, alternating all the way around. When I reach back here, I'll show y'all how to finish it off where you can't even tell that you started or stopped, where it's just seamless. So y'all can see right there how it's starting to look like the candy cane border. You'll just keep alternating between the red and green, taking turns, and I'll meet up with y'all when I get back here to the beginning. Okay, so I've worked down to the very last 2 stitches, and I'm going to go ahead and finish this up so you'll see exactly how I finished the edge where I can get it to look seamless, where you can't even tell that we joined these 2 colors. So to do that, since we have green here in front, we're going to go back to our red, push our green to the back, and work like we had been working like normal, and single crochet, and then chain 4. Okay, and now we're going to go back to the green since we have 1 stitch left and work in the green. Red to the back, grab the green, single crochet in that last stitch, and chain 4. Okay, so now what we're left with is no more stitches to work and these 2 ends. So to finish these 2 ends, we will put our red back on our hook, and we're going to slip stitch into the same stitch here where we began, where the red's coming out where we started. We're just going to slip stitch right here in the same stitch next to it. We're just going to slip stitch there, and I'm going to go ahead and cut my yarn and get rid of that, leaving a tail to weave in. I'm just going to pull my tail through there like so. Okay, so there is the first one. So now we're going to go off and finish the green. So we're going to put our yarn back on our hook, and to finish the green, we're going to come here in front. We're going to go in front of the red, and where the very first stitch where we joined our green, we're going to slip stitch there next to it. Now when you slip stitch here, you want to make sure that you don't slip stitch the red, that the red loop does not get caught in your slip stitch. So I am going to reach over here in front, go in that very first stitch where we joined the green, and make sure I push the red behind my crochet hook so I can slip stitch to join, like so. And then I'll cut that yarn, pull the tail through, and then you can pull the tail to the back so you can weave it in like so. And then you kind of fluff these pieces out a little bit, and you can't even you have to really look to be able to see where we joined, where we started, and where we stopped, because it all looks pretty much the same. And then you can just weave those ends in, and your Christmas candy cane bordered coasters will be finished. I hope that you found this tutorial helpful. If you did, be sure and give me a thumbs up, and be sure to check out my channel for other patterns and stitch tutorials, and be sure to subscribe to my channel to never miss anything new. And happy crocheting!